Good afternoon, everybody. Glad you're here. Welcome to the Wisconsin Live Desk. I am Donovan Long, here with you today between 12:30 and 1:30. If you're new to our Wisconsin Live Desk, then welcome, first of all. Secondly, this is our new digital way of disseminating information to you in terms of what's happening in our community, around the nation, and around the world. So we are able to tap into different live feeds real time to give you minute by minute and second by second updates about what's happening on the ground in different parts of the world. So we want to begin with this though. We are going to take a live look now really quickly at our newest way of disseminating information, our Fox, essentially our new Fox Mobile. It is decked out with all the bells and whistles. It's got cameras on the vehicle that just pulled into our studio, into our parking lot. This is something that's super innovative, something very new to us. We'll take a full look at what this truck will offer, what it can do, and how it can better equip us to inform you about what's happening in our community where the weather is concerned. This is really cool. I had a chance to sit inside of it and talk with our chief in terms of how this operates, what it does, who it will benefit, how it will benefit us all. And you see it's getting a move on here as it makes its way further into our parking lot. But this is something that's really cool. I think you'll love this. I think you'll be highly impressed by what it can do and how far we have advanced in technology and how we can, again, better prepare ourselves to inform you with regard to what's going on in our community. So this is something I'm excited about, something our entire newsroom is excited about. So again, this is called our new Fox Mobile. You can't miss it if you see it on the streets. Whenever we are reporting in the field, you will notice it's decked out. It's got cameras on the top of it, cameras on the wheels, all kinds of cameras inside. One thing that's super cool about this truck is that it has a screen, two screens on the inside, one of which shows a real-time sort of feed of what's going on as we are live on our broadcast, live on air. So from inside, we'll be able to keep up with what our anchors are doing, what our reporters are doing, while also being able to monitor the feed of what's being shown on the outside of the vehicle. So we have like this panoramic view of what we're seeing around us, what we're seeing inside of us. And so this is something, again, we are excited to tackle and excited to take on and excited to put to good use. Again, that was our Fox Mobile, as we can kind of, put it lightly. But that's something we're going to show off later on in our broadcast with one of our chiefs who is going to kind of break down how useful this is going to be and how much of a resource this is going to be, not only for us here at our FOX6 studios, but also for you out there in our community. Again, want to say welcome to those of you who are joining us for our Wisconsin Live Desk, our new digital way of disseminating information to you. If you want to stay connected with us in this capacity, all you got to do is go to our Fox Local mobile app and tune in with us there. If this is not your first time at the rodeo, welcome back. You know where to find us then. So next thing I'll ask you to do is just tell a friend to tell a friend all about the different ways you can stay connected with us here on Fox, on our FOX6 mobile app. Again, I'm Donovan Long. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be here from 12:30 to 1:30. We'll also, in the meantime, kind of show you how we're taking looks at what's happening around the world right here. I want to go to Vatican City really quickly. So you've probably been noticing the changes, reading about the changes as the cardinals start preparing to usher in the process of selecting a new pope in the absence of Pope Francis. We'll get into how Vatican firefighters have installed a chimney on the roof of the Sistine Chapel. And this is, again, as they're making way for the papal election to, of course, choose a successor for Pope Francis. We know that the conclave will begin on May 7th. And so this is something that is going to be super interesting as we watch play out before our eyes as, again, the conclave prepares to choose a new pope. We know right now they are in a period of mourning that, of course, follows the funeral of the pope. But again, the Vatican firefighters have installed a chimney on the roof of the Sistine Chapel, and we'll break down what this means going forward and how we will watch the conclave and the cardinals prepare to choose a successor to Pope Francis. But again, we want to get you caught up on some of the other news. We want to go to Some other news of the day that we're following today. If you give me a second to gather my bearings, we're getting ready to go to our new piece of video here in just a few minutes. Let's take a look at what else is happening around the country, if you don't mind. So as we do that, as we kind of prepare you to see what else is happening around the country, we'll go to our chief, Cale, who was in the field getting us kind of ready with the new Fox Mobile. He is prepared to show us how this is going to work and what we can expect. We'll shoot over to you, Cale. Good morning, or rather, good afternoon to you, brother. You know what? Before we, we're going to take him on a different camera. If you give me a second, Cale, if you can hear me, hold on one second, you all, and apologize. We are getting ready to bring up Cale on a different router. If you give me a second here, we are going to play some mental gymnastics, if you will. So give me one quick second here. I'm just going to reset the cameras here. There we go. We've got Cale. Here he is. All righty. You know what? We're getting to him slowly but surely here. There we go. My man, I got you now. Had to press some buttons to get to you, but glad to have you. Good to see you. Let me turn up your microphone so we can check out the brand new resource we have here at our FOX6 studios. Good afternoon. Look at it in all of its glory.
Hey, here we are. Yeah, you were saying the FOX6 Mobile. We don't really have a name for it yet. But
I know.
Our newest piece of equipment.
Yeah, okay.
You might have seen our old live trucks running around with the big tall masts. We really don't use those much anymore. This is the future. It's smaller, more condensed, studio on wheels. Has way more capability than our old live trucks did. But let's go on a little walk around, shall we?
Please, please.
So yeah, so it's just an SUV that's kind of packed full of technology.
Okay.
On the front, we've got a ton of lights, which is exciting.
Yeah.
If we're covering weather and there's lots of storm damage and whatnot, we want to light up a scene, we've got this huge light bar on the front, which will help us see what we're trying to see, especially at night. You'll notice there's a camera on the roof. That is a pan, tilt, zoom type camera.
Okay.
If you see, it will move around.
Oh, we're seeing the movement.
Jeff should be
yes.
showing. Yeah, it's moving around.
So let me stop you there for a second, Cale. So this is something that, so say for instance, I was inside the vehicle reporting on some perhaps major weather event happening in real time. How would that camera at the top of the SUV be super beneficial for not only me, but for the viewers out there?
Well, how this would be beneficial is you roll up to storm damage, and sometimes you can't really you can't see as much as you'd like to, maybe from the ground. You can't walk into what you're trying to look at. This is pretty tall. It's probably about 7-8 feet above ground. So that gives you just a little bit more height advantage to see stuff a little bit further. It does zoom pretty far as well.
Okay.
So if we're over here and we can't quite get to something we're trying to look at, obviously it'll zoom in on whatever we're trying to get.
Yes. So it's also kind of acts as kind of like a safety feature, if you will. If we're, say we're staying with the example of being immersed in storm damage from either a tornado or some massive storm, if we don't want to get in an area that will be unsafe to us, we can still reference what we're talking about by zooming in on the camera. And I saw for myself, it's very clear. Yep. It's not grainy or pixelated. It's a very clear image when you zoom out to from a distance, or zoom in from a distance.
It is. I don't know if you have this pulled up on one of your sources, LiveView 7, if you have that pulled up on one of your routers, but I can actually give you a look of what the pan tilt zoom camera sees.
Okay. Let's see. You know what? I'm getting ready to pull that up to give viewers a different perspective. If you bear with me for 2 seconds, Cale, I'll dial you in.
Yeah.
In like 2 seconds here.
Yep, Donovan's going to throw this up on another source here so we can see what is going on through the camera.
So you're dialed up here. So folks, this is like an exterior view, at least one vantage point you're seeing from our new FOX6 truck. And this is the other one that Cale was talking about. The camera, Cale, I have the camera, yep, so you can see the camera moving real time. Yes, it's called up for you to reference.
And I'll give you a kind of little taste. I'll look at our Doppler radar up here.
Nice. Wonderful. Yeah, we're seeing you zoom in. Yeah, clear image, clear picture. We can distinctly make out what we're seeing.
Super zoom.
Oh, that's wonderful.
What's else? So we got that camera. We have, we'll show you later, we'll go for a drive. With a reporter sitting in the camera. We also have a look at the wheel.
Oh, fantastic.
And this really, I see this more as like kind of winter weather. If you're maybe it's icy or we're driving through a ton of snow, you can see real time what the road conditions look like.
Wonderful, wonderful. And we're seeing exactly what you're talking about. The image our viewers are seeing is the wheel, a shot of the wheel. And what was also interesting too, Cale,
if we have Jeff walk around, actually, I'm going to have Jeff walk around to the other side.
Okay, fantastic.
I'm going to try to open up this door for him, or he can open it up. We'll give you a shot of what it looks like in the control panels here.
Perfect.
So in the center console, we are seeing everything. We have our switcher monitor, which shows all the different cameras we have.
Okay.
And then we have the camera controls itself. So camera 1, 2, 3, 4.
Wonderful.
Microphone, of course. This is controlling all of our roof lights, the strobe lights. We've got a couple lights on the side of the car. And then this right here is actually a road temperature sensor. Again, this is another feature that is really beneficial in the winter because depending on conditions, just a couple degrees could mean if it's just going to be wet or if it's going to be icy.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're seeing the screens.
Another thing.
Oh, go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I think there's a bit of a delay because of the technology.
No, it's okay. So like sometimes you're in an area, especially if there's severe weather or storm damage, there might not be great cell phone connection.
Sure.
And I don't think Jeff's going to be able to show this, but on the roof is actually a Starlink satellite receiver.
Nice. Okay.
So anywhere we go, we'll have internet. Oh, Jeff can see that.
Oh, yeah, we can see it. Yep, there it is. Yes.
Yeah.
Right in the center of the screen for us.
And then over there on the back is our weather sensor.
Wonderful. Man, I mean, this is a game changer. I mean, this just takes our ability to give our viewers real-time updates from anywhere to like a whole new level.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's definitely a great tool in our news gathering fleet because it's not going to just be a weather vehicle. It's going to be a mobile studio on wheels. You might see us out at a parade. You might see us out at Summerfest, State Fair, other big events where we need that technology with us. And this just kind of compacts it all in one spot, help us really, really streamline our broadcasts.
So I got to ask you. So I know that, Cale, you were instrumental and as a part of your team in bringing this bad boy to fruition. So you were there for the inception of this, the origin story. How does it feel now seeing this come together and prepare to start using it? Like, what does it mean for you in terms of being someone who's a part of the news gathering process? Yeah, I bet it does.
Yeah, it feels great because it takes a lot of work to plan something for something this big. It took about 6 months. It took about 6 months for us to get it. Because there's say, okay, we want one, but now what? We got to decide what we want in it, how we want it to work, and then we have to work with the company on the designs and the schematics, and then they have to build it, and it takes a long time.
No kidding, man. Well, I'm just as excited as you are. I do want to just quickly update our viewers in terms of what we're doing and what we're showing right now. If you are just now joining us here on our Wisconsin Live Desk, you're listening to Cale Zimmy. He's our Fox 6 News Operations Manager, but he wears so many hats around the building. He's very involved, has his hands in a few different things, but this is our newest member to our Fox 6 family, if you will. Our Fox 6 Mobile, I'm calling it now because we don't have a designated name for it just yet, but that is coming.
Fox 6 Mobile.
The Fox 6 Mobile, we'll go with that for now. The Fox 6 Mobile. So Cale was showing the ins and outs of this bad boy and what it means for you as viewers and for us as news gatherers. So we'll be connecting with Cale with regard to this and what it does and how.
In a little bit, we're going to go take a ride, so you guys will see us.
Wonderful.
You'll see us on the road in a little bit.
We're getting ready to put it to get use. So in the meantime, we'll take a quick short break. But when we come back, we are going to continue to update you about our new Fox 6 Mobile, as well as follow the other national and international headlines. We'll be right back.
This is the Wisconsin Live Desk.
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to our Wisconsin Live Desk. I'm Donovan Long here with you from 12:30 to 1:30. Hey, if you're just now joining us, you're like, what is the Wisconsin Live Desk? I've heard of it, don't know really what it is. That's where I come into play. So basically, this is our new way, our new digital way of pretty much making sure you're caught up with the latest headlines nationally, internationally, and statewide. It's like our way of disseminating information to you as it's happening real time. And everything you see here is live, from the video feeds we call up to the interviews we do. Everything is live, not pre-recorded, so you're seeing everything in real time as it happens. In our last couple of minutes, we've shown you, if you missed out, we've shown you our new FOX6 Mobile, as we're going to call it for now. And our news operations manager was kind of giving us a pretty cool tour of what this means for us as news gatherers, but what it means for you to stay on top of weather coverage and weather destruction, and how that will affect you and your commute perhaps going forward when we do have severe weather. And speaking of weather, let's bring in our good friend, Stephanie Barrichello. She's standing by in the Weather Center for us now. Steph, good afternoon to you, my friend. I've been with you all morning. Look, we know beer gardens are opening up this weekend, specifically the new ones, Estabrook. Well, they're not new, they're just newly opening for the season, I should say. Estabrook and the Whitnall beer gardens, two of which I've not checked out yet. Do we have good beer garden weather? Hopefully.
I can't hear you, Donovan.
Oh, can you hear me now?
You're asking great questions. But you know what? Let's just dive in then, right?
Sure.
I assume you're asking about the weekend and our rain chances, because that really is the biggest story going forward today. I'm sure we'll fix that in just a bit. But hey, this is good news. We've at least made it to 50 degrees in Milwaukee. That's still about 10 degrees cooler than the seasonal average, but hey, it's better than 40s. And we are experiencing some dry time right now in Milwaukee. I know we've had such a soggy stretch of weather here over the last 24 to 48 hours. Right now it's cloudy. We have a light breeze, but it is dry. So good timing for your lunch hour. Now temperatures elsewhere following suit. Most spots in either the upper 40s or low 50s. Sheboygan, actually one of the warmer spots right now, right around 54. One of the spots that saw a little bit of sunshine over the last couple of hours. From here though, we're not really going to move much, especially lakeside. Low 50s at best, whereas inland areas have the better chance as the day goes on to see more middle, maybe even upper 50s if we can manage to see maybe just a few more peaks of sunshine. But then as the night goes on, as you're making Friday evening plans, we will continue to drop through the 40s, maybe even some upper 30s by early tomorrow morning. So a bit of a cooler start for your Saturday morning. Maybe you're doing some runs. I say that because my husband is bold like Donovan and doing a 5K, not a half marathon, but you know, it's still a run and good for him. But it is going to be a little cool to get your morning started. So the rest of today, we've got the cloud cover. You can see it. It's going to stick around, unfortunately. Can't rule out a few sprinkles from time to time, but what we're watching for this evening is this area of rain down towards the south in Iowa. At its current track here, it's going to continue to move eastward, really favoring Illinois, but notice that northernmost edge here. That may expand just a little bit more towards the north, meaning parts of southern Wisconsin could see just a few rain showers closer to your 6, 7, 8 o'clock hour later on this evening. Should not be a huge deal, but if you are going to be outdoors for any period of time, maybe trying to head to one of the beer gardens in Milwaukee, maybe best to still bring a little bit of that rain gear, the umbrella, jacket with a hood, if we do end up seeing some of these inching their way towards the Milwaukee area. It's just rain though, again in our forecast, thankfully. You know, Monday, if you think about earlier in the week, we were watching for that severe threat. We had those 6, I believe actually now 7 confirmed tornadoes in Wisconsin from that storm system. All the severe weather right now is way south of us. Notice the spots, though, that have severe thunderstorm warnings. Nashville, one of them. It's pretty much a straight line there on that, you know, Boeing line of thunderstorms, bringing strong wind, heavy rainfall. That's actually going to continue to track its way northward. And think tomorrow is the Kentucky Derby. So think of Louisville. You know, they're eventually going to see this batch of showers and thunderstorms throughout the day today. And then there is more rain on the way for that area tomorrow, too. So we'll have to see how that event plays out, but the activity is sure going to continue heading into the next couple of days. Even here locally, we could see a return of some light rain by Sunday. So we'll quickly go through this here because I do want to talk about Sunday. It's a little bit of a shift in the forecast here. Now for tonight, we could once again see a few overnight rain showers, say I-94 and southward. If you're north of Milwaukee, you're likely going to stay dry. 6-7 a.m., most of that rain is out of here, may just have a few lingering sprinkles. Then we rapidly clear out the rest of Saturday. So Saturday is still shaping up to be pretty nice. I do just want to highlight though for Sunday. Notice as this plays through, you start to see some clouds moving in off of Lake Michigan. That storm system that's going to be south and east of us now looks like it's going to become occluded. So kind of a slow mover, but also retrograding, meaning instead of continuing to move eastward, it may now in fact move westward, bringing Sunday afternoon especially a few more clouds to southern Wisconsin and potentially another round of some light rain showers late in the day. So something we're going to add to the forecast for Sunday. Once again, could potentially see some of those showers returning. We'll just have to watch how that system plays out, where it stalls. Even if it stalls a little farther towards the east, that may help us out when it comes to those rain chances. But to say the least, we have just a couple more rounds possible in the days ahead. And then next week, look at this, 60, 70 set to return. May take a little longer than we wanted. We were hoping by Sunday we'd have some of those 60s and 70s, but now that changes with the potential for that system hanging around a little bit. But overall, Donovan, we're still going to have dry time. It's still going to be an enjoyable weekend.
All righty. Wait a minute. Did I hear you say your husband's doing a 5K? He's doing a race.
He is brave. He's running one tomorrow.
Oh, man. Is this his first race?
First race in a really long time.
Let's go.
He was a runner.
Yeah.
Then kind of stopped and now has recently gotten back into it.
Oh, I think I found a new running buddy then. He just doesn't know it yet.
I don't know. His shin splints need to heal first. I feel so bad for him.
I'm telling you what, your shin splints and your joints and your knees, boy, I tell you what, as you get older, it's you don't recover like we're 21 again.
I know. You can't just go day after day. You got to take those breaks.
I've been humbled a couple times in training for the half a couple weeks ago.
I'm amazed by everybody who can do those long runs because it's just not for me.
I hear that. Like even the marathoners, I'm like, man, that's aggressive for me right now. But hey, much love and much power to you all who can power through that because that is no easy feat right there.
I know. Agreed.
Awesome stuff. Well, best of luck to him. You have to pass along my well wishes.
Thank you. I will definitely do that.
Thank you much. Thank you much, my friend. See you in just a little bit here.
Sounds great.
All righty. All right, folks. We are going to take a quick short break here for a little bit, but when we come back, we'll get back in touch with our Kale Zimmy, who's our Chief Operations Officer here at our Fox 6 studio to kind of break down the new toy we have to kind of keep you updated on what's going on in your community. You don't want to miss that. It's super cool. It's decked out, has all the bells and whistles. All right, folks, we'll be right back. Stay with us.
This is the Wisconsin Live Desk.
All right, we've got that Friday feeling, and so does Giannis's family. I wanted to show myself, but I figured you probably want to see a beautiful baby instead. This is Aria Capri. Giannis and his wife Mariah welcomed the baby. This is their fourth child. We can tell you that the little one here seems to be happy and healthy, as well as mom as well. Again, Giannis and his wife Mariah welcoming their fourth child. This is their second girl, though. So he's well into the girl dad routine. He knows what he's doing. But this is something super exciting. We know they lost to the Pacers not too long ago, but this is something that they can look forward to, something that they can celebrate in spite of that huge upset. I believe it was 118-119, Pacers taking it home. And so this is something that we're all celebrating, a new life, a new blessing for their family. But yeah, you all, this is little Aria Capri, recently born, just days old. Giannis and his wife Mariah announcing this bundle of joy on their Instagram, and that is how we were made aware of the new addition to their family. So I'm sure she will be decked out in all the Bucks gear as the days go forward. A lot of fans and supporters and loved ones probably getting her the onesies as we speak. So this is little Aria. I'm sure we'll be seeing a lot more of this little one on Giannis's Instagram, his social media. Maybe if you go to a Bucks game, you'll catch her next season perhaps, or maybe just walking about in the community in certain parts of Milwaukee. So we all want to congratulate Giannis and his wife Mariah and their entire family on the newest and a very beautiful addition to their family. So you all, welcome back to the Wisconsin Live Desk. I am Donovan Long here with you between 12:30 and 1:30. We are just kind of showing you what we have to offer in terms of what's happening all over the country, all over the world. This is a real-time digital way of making sure you are up to date on what's happening as we talk real time. So let's give you a kind of look at what we're following here. For starters, we'll go to Vatican City. This is where Vatican firefighters have just installed recently a chimney on the roof of the Sistine Chapel here as the cardinals prepare the process of electing and selecting a new pope in light of Pope Francis's death. And so this is something that we have been following. We know that when the conclave will start May 7th, and that is when we'll begin to see the process of the cardinals choosing and starting to choose the new pope. You'll see black smoke or white smoke. Of course, the black smoke meaning the vote to a new cardinal was inconclusive. The white smoke means the pope has been chosen. But again, this whole process will start happening on May 7th. Want to bring you a little closer to home now. We're seeing what appear to be some ducks outside. This is not Vatican City, but more so the city of Milwaukee. And so this is what we're viewing now. We just had to take you and show you a little live view of what we're seeing. This is a camera from our new Fox Mobile, our Fox Mobile truck. That is this huge new SUV that is equipped with so many cameras and so many studios. These are geese. I'm sorry, these are baby geese, not baby ducks. Baby geese. My apologies. But these are this is a real-time view from our new Fox Mobile truck, which gives us a way to report on the ground wherever we are. And so the man behind this, who kind of helped bring this bad boy to fruition, who was instrumental in bringing this on board, Cale Zimmy, our operations manager, is kind of ready to talk about what this means for you as viewers and what this means as news gatherers here at the station in terms of bringing you real-time updates with what's going on. Cale, can you hear me, buddy? How are you? Let me turn your microphone up so we can hear you.
Do I have you? We got you.
I got you too now. All righty.
We're in Brown Deer Park, so we're right down the road.
Okay.
And we saw all these baby geese, and we had to stop.
Oh, I bet you did. I'm sure it would have stopped anyone in their tracks.
So this is looking at the roof cam that I showed you guys before.
Okay.
We're zooming in from across the street.
Oh, man.
At the Brown Deer Park Lagoon. Here we are, in the truck.
In the flesh,
and
you are.
You probably can't see Jeff, Fox 6 photojournalist. He can peek his head in.
Hey, Jeff. I don't know if you can hear me, but hello, sir.
He can't hear you. We're having an issue with our other line.
That's all right.
But okay, you guys. I'm just obsessed with the I can't. Which way would you go? With the babies.
Oh. Well, they've stolen
Look at
your
them
heart,
all.
man. They have stolen your heart completely.
Our digital content manager, Carrie, in the booth right now, we had this discussion about geese earlier, and he didn't like the geese. But Carrie, come on, look at these geese. How can you not like these baby geese?
Well, they are cute, I will have to say. But when they get a little bigger and they start leaving a mess in the parking lot, that's
Carrie's
not as
like,
much fun.
no way.
It's
Everyone's
fine.
cute till they get
it gives
older,
you a
right?
little bit of like agility practice, Carrie. You can jump around. You got to jump from avoid all the geese mess.
Okay, well, Kale, literally, so you're zoomed in on this. Okay, this is which goes to show you how clear of a picture it is. You don't have to be right up on something to capture it in real time. You are completely zoomed in, but are physically far away from these baby geese.
Yeah, we're across the street. We're across the street from the lagoon, and we are zoomed in.
Wonderful.
There goes a biker.
Yeah, we just saw the biker roll through the camera.
So yeah, we have all these cameras. This is the camera that looks out the front of the window as we're driving. We have the camera that will look at a reporter who is sitting in the passenger seat here, kind of controlling everything. They have all the controls right here, down below. And then we have our wheel camera, which doesn't really give us much right now, but in the winter, you'll really see those road conditions. Right now, our road temperature is 60, 61 degrees, so it's actually a little bit warmer than our air temperature.
And I want to stop you right there. There's a monitor.
Weather experts show.
Yeah, there's a monitor inside that identifies the weather outside, the weather inside, the humidity, which I thought was pretty cool and will be useful to our meteorologists who use the vehicle.
Jeff's going to go down by the wheel camera now. There he is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we do have a weather sensor in this vehicle. Right now, it is 51.9 degrees, really light wind, 2.9 miles per hour, so not bad.
Let's see. I'm wondering if we can
let's just
see
go
what it
back
looks
to
like when we're
the
driving.
best shot right here.
Okay, look at you and these darn baby geese. You have a new addiction.
So yeah, it's okay.
Hey, Kale, this is Carrie again. Sorry to interrupt. Can we see what the wheel camera looks like when you guys are rolling?
Yeah. Let's go on a ride, Jeff. So this is the rear driver's wheel.
Okay.
And it is pointing back as to not get as much road spray. So the camera's looking towards the back of the vehicle. The road spray is mostly going to be coming, hitting the back of the camera. So hopefully we can keep that camera nice and clean as we're driving through messy snow conditions, rain, things like that. I mean, I'm sure we're going to get some road spray. It's not possible that it's not going to get completely clean. But the idea is to make sure it stays as clean as possible.
Sure. And I think this will be really helpful too when we're, talking about different weather conditions independent of snow. When you talk about maybe storm debris and what a storm has left behind, you can see real time if you're driving through that damage what it looks like and how much of a headache it will be for people in the area that it will perhaps affect.
Yep, absolutely. And if we're driving through an area that has suffered some storm damage, we can use our roof camera to kind of look around as we're driving, and the driver can make sure to focus on the road, and the passenger who is controlling all of the cameras can give you that look of what we're seeing as we're driving.
That is next level. I mean, because I've worked at, as I'm sure you have, different news stations where we weren't as fortunate to have a vehicle like this, and so a lot of times it was us either on the ground kind of having to watch where we step as to not step on anything dangerous, or it was us kind of holding the camera from inside the car and kind of putting the camera out the window. But this is such a game changer because this car is outfitted with like panoramic cameras already that can zoom out and zoom in really far ways.
Yep. And you see back there's our weather sensor that we showed you before. It doesn't really give you much of an accurate wind reading when we're driving, as you can imagine. But
sure.
When we're parked, that'll give you really, really accurate weather readings.
Wonderful. Okay, so this really is incredibly helpful to meteorologists, to our reporters, and to our anchors who will be covering, no doubt, storm damage in Wisconsin.
Yeah, it's really just going to give us a better look at things that we're covering. Like I said, it doesn't necessarily have to be weather. It could be any sort of news that we can drive around and see. It's going to give you 4 different shots of things. Not, like I said, the wheel shot, not necessarily in the summer, but it just gives us that extra tool in our arsenal of news gathering equipment.
So we've talked about some of the exterior ways that this truck works. What about the interior stuff? What's inside that we can't see because of your vantage point?
Well, what you can't see, I can actually move this camera a little bit, and you'll see the weather computer back here.
Okay.
And then that's, we've got the rack-mounted system with all of our power and the switcher and the Wi-Fi router. We've got the live view, which is what's actually sending our signal back to the station right now, and there's antennas on the roof that give us a better reception. The big blue box is the power inverter. This car actually has a huge battery aside from the engine battery that's helping to power all the equipment. So we could actually run this vehicle without the engine on for, I believe, like 6 to 8 hours.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Hey, how does this hold up in like remote areas? Because I mean, I'm sure we've been live before in areas where there's not good TVU signal, which for those of you who don't know is like a device where you used to be able to go live remotely. But is this going to be a game changer in areas where cell service is typically spotty?
It is, because if cell service is either down or, like you said, spotty, we are equipped with a Starlink satellite, which is, if you're not familiar, is satellite internet. So pretty much anywhere that we have a good sky view, we will be online.
Nice. That definitely gives us an edge, because not everybody has a vehicle like this, and not everybody has the equipment in a vehicle like this. So this will definitely give us an edge and better equip us to inform our viewers. So that's wonderful. That is absolutely wonderful. Wonderful.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Donovan.
Absolutely. Thank you for giving us a tour, my man. We will see you shortly on the other side of the break. You all, thank you so much for joining us right here on our Wisconsin Live Desk. We will take a quick, short break, but we'll be right back. Take care and happy Friday.
This is the Wisconsin Live Desk.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Donovan Long. Welcome back to the Wisconsin Live Desk, our new way of disseminating information to you real time here at our Fox 6 studios. If you have been tuned in with us, thank you so much. If this is your first time, we welcome you. Thank you for joining us from our Fox 6 mobile app that's brand new. We've been rolling it out all all month long and a couple of months now just to see how you all like it. So thank you for all the feedback. And thank you for continuing to connect with us. So because this is a digital series, we are able to follow things happening around our nation. For example, we'll give you a quick look at the Big Apple here, New York City. You know where that is. The Statue of Liberty is the dead giveaway here. So things are looking pretty calm there in NYC. We also have an opportunity to take you to what we've been talking about for the past couple of minutes with our Chief Operations Officer, Cale Zimmy. This is essentially our new FOX mobile truck that allows us to report in real time, live on the ground from a moving vehicle to show you weather updates or updates that are pertaining to news gathering that's happening. It's got like a panoramic roof on the top, cameras all on the bottom of the car showing the wheels where we can see road conditions, and of course cameras inside. We also have the ability to go to Massachusetts right here for the Karen Reed trial. This is the Reed trial. It's happening real time right now. You're looking at one of the main persons who have been giving testimony this whole time, Jennifer McCabe. She is a key witness in this trial, and so we have been following this trial, as many of you have, around the clock. But that just kind of goes to show you what we are able to access and what we are able to do and tap into with regard that's happening around the country. Let's get back to that Reed trial here, and let's listen in for a moment to see what Jennifer McCabe is saying now with regard to her testimony.
Did you ever see anybody come out of 32 Fairview and come over to John in the scene to help out?
No.
Across the street, there's a house that's in between 32 and 34 if you cross the street?
Yes.
Did you ever see anybody come out of that house and offer assistance to help?
No.
There's a house right across the street from 34 Fairview, isn't there?
Yes.
And did anybody ever come out of that house and come over to assist?
No.
When you were trying to help John that moment, have you ever been trained in emergency aid?
Probably 25, 30 years ago.
Your state of mind. Best describe how you were feeling at that moment as far as your focus and what was going through your mind.
I was shocked, confused, nervous, scared, anxious. My friend was lying there on the ground. I had no idea what happened. All I wanted to do was to get help for John, and as fast as I could.
You saw her on the dash cam. You spoke to a number of different people in law enforcement.
Yes.
In fact, during that day, a number of different people from law enforcement, did they call you?
Objection. I'll allow that. Move along to Mr. Brand.
Did a number of people call you from law enforcement that day?
On the day of the 29th,
Yes.
Michael Proctor called me.
Okay. Did you speak to law enforcement after that day?
Yes.
Were you asked to engage in interviews?
Yes.
Were you asked to testify in front of grand juries?
Yes.
Were you asked to come to court and testify?
Yes.
Did you ever, once, refuse to speak to the police?
No.
Did you ever once refuse to testify?
No.
When you were speaking to the police on that dash cam, it's depicted on the dash cam, why were you speaking to the police?
Well, each officer that arrived had a set of questions of who it was, what happened, etc. So I was answering all the questions because my main focus was John.
Did you ever try to be evasive with the police?
No, I told them everything I knew.
Did you ever try to avoid speaking to them?
Objection. The form.
Did you ever hold anything back from the police when you spoke to them?
Objection. I'll allow that, and then let's move on, Mr. Brand, please.
No, I didn't.
When you interviewed with many different law enforcement and people involved in this case, were you ever given an opportunity to review somebody else's report after it was written and provide edits or your input?
Objection. I'll allow it.
No.
When you testified, are you testifying from what somebody wrote? They interpreted what you said months or years ago, or are you testifying from your own memory?
Objection. I'll allow it.
I'm testifying from my own memory.
You called 911?
Yes.
And that morning when you called 911, well, let me ask you, do you wear an Apple Watch?
I do have one, yes.
When you were speaking to 911 that morning and during that event, how did you feel?
Extremely nervous, anxious, scared, uncertain,
Do you think
panicked.
Do you think your heartbeat was up?
Yes.
At 2:27, the night before, or around that time when you were looking up Hockomock before you went to bed, were you of the same state of mind, of fear and panic, or were you in a very different state of mind?
Objection. Strike the fear and panic part. You can answer that, though. Were you of the same mind or different?
Different.
What was your state of mind at that time?
I was relaxed, just playing on my phone, looking up things before I went to bed.
Do you think your heartbeat was as elevated that evening as it was the next morning?
Objection. Sustained.
When you made a search for how long to die in the cold or how long to die in cold, is that something that you thought of for yourself?
Objection. I'll allow it.
No.
Why did you do it?
Miss Reed asked me to Google it.
And when was that?
That was in the morning after we found him.
And had you ever attempted either of those searches before Miss Reed asked you to do that?
No, I didn't.
You were asked questions about the next day when you visited the O'Keefe home, and you read some records. Do you remember those questions?
Yes.
Do you remember going to the O'Keefe home?
I do, yes.
You went with who?
With Carrie and our 2 daughters.
Do you remember how many hours you spent with the O'Keefe family?
I don't remember how many hours, say a few.
Was it over 3 or 4?
Could have been, I'm not sure.
What is the reason that you spend so much time at the O'Keefe home the next day?
We went over to offer support, love, comfort, to be with them.
You weren't avoiding them, were you?
No.
Sustained.
After you left the O'Keefe home and reading the records, I don't know if this is your memory, it was suggested it was 5:12. Do you remember going to Fairview?
I remember driving by Fairview on the way to Mike Lank's.
When you went to Fairview, you asked questions about...
Excuse me, good afternoon, everyone. You were listening to Jennifer McCabe give testimony in the second murder trial for Karen Reed. This is going on in a Massachusetts courtroom. She is a key witness here. Prosecutors saying she was with Karen Reed the morning she found John O'Keefe in the snow. We know prosecutors are saying Reed backed her SUV into O'Keefe outside of a home of a fellow officer in January of 2022. Prosecutors saying that the woman you're listening to now, Jennifer McCabe, was there at the time. So this second murder trial for Karen Reed will continue to play out in this Massachusetts courtroom, and we'll be following as well as much of the nation in terms of what happens next. We are going to take a short break really quickly, but on the other side of it, we're going to be joined by our very own Jason Calvi, who's following the boat saga. Deep Thought, you probably heard about it. The boat's been stranded, stuck since last October on the shores of Lake Michigan. He's going to break down why that boat is still there. That and more when we return. Thank you so much for joining us. You're watching the Wisconsin Live Desk. We'll be right back.
Okay. Anyone have any questions for
This is the Wisconsin Live Desk.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the Wisconsin Live Desk. I am Donovan Long. Thank you for joining us. If you've been with us from 12:30 at the top of the show, which will end this afternoon at 1:30, we've been following everything happening around not only our community, but around the nation and around the globe. One of the big stories, it's been such a topic of conversation in our community in Milwaukee, is Deep Thought. That is the boat that has been abandoned on the shore of Lake Michigan near Bradford Beach for, since October of last year. And so many folks are wondering why it's still there when the mayor said there was an anonymous person who wanted to donate money to help crews remove the boat. That was supposed to happen last week, but there's been some weather delays. It's a lot of back and forth, but we know the man for the job who was on it trying to get us some answers. Jason Calvi joining us from the shores of Lake Michigan near this abandoned boat. Man, unpack where we are with this. What is going on, Jason? So much to talk about with regard to this boat.
Donovan, a couple more days of this. I want to give you this lunchtime now. Look at this. People on the rocks here.
Jason.
Coming out to enjoy their lunch on the rocks. Can you believe that? So they're coming out here. They're having lunch on the rocks. This is one of the top tourist sites in Milwaukee right now. If you go to Google Maps, you're going to look at the lakefront, and it's going to actually say Deep Thought right here. This is it. It's going to say USS Minnow, which is its official name, but it's nicknamed Deep Thoughts here. And this is what it looks like. It's, been here since you mentioned October, and there's been many attempts to pull it out. There's been weather issues. There's been, at least the salvage company, talking about weather issues and talking about the waves and the wind and all of that. So now, we just learned today, or in the last couple days, we've been learning that the county's now taking over. They're calling it Plan B. And before we get into what the plan is and what that's going to mean for your traffic and your rush hour on Tuesday, got big news about that coming up. But I want to just tell you about how people are coming out to watch this. This is Alex, and Alex is from Florida. He's originally from Milwaukee, but he's in town right now, I think, visiting family. Yep. And he wanted to come down, so he traveled on all of these rocks, because in order to get to look at Deep Thoughts, you actually have to travel and walk on these very, I guess you could say, pretty dangerous rocks. I mean, if you were a little bit older, a little bit unhealthier, it might be more difficult to walk here.
Oh yeah, you have to climb up here, grab onto rocks with your hands, and so it's a little bit treacherous. I would say definitely worth the climb to see, Milwaukee's #1 tourist attraction right now, so definitely worth it.
And you were worried because you live in Florida. You heard about this. What have you been hearing in Florida about this boat?
Yeah, I heard that they were trying to take it away before I had a chance to come out and see it, and so I thought it was fate that they weren't able to pull it out before I came to visit family, and so I had to get my maybe the last glimpse of it.
The first and the last glimpse. What's your impression after seeing Deep Thoughts out here?
It's in bad shape. It's in bad shape, and it does not look as trendy or as clean as the photos, and so I can see why we need to get it out of here as quick as possible.
One of the things that they mentioned, I talked with county leaders about why they wanted to have this thing pulled out. They're going to be spending $50,000 on this operation Tuesday, because we're talking about it's a heavy boat, but now it's got sand, it's got water in it, and it's like the sand is like concrete. I mean, they're going to have to get this big, huge crane to lift it up from the ground. Now they're going to be taking it from the ground. When you were on top of that boat, did it feel dangerous to be on top of it, or?
It didn't feel dangerous to be on top of the ledge there, but inside it's full of water. The mechanics are all showing it's full of water. There's a dead fish on top of it, so there might be some biohazards going on in there. It definitely needs to get out of here for sure.
So they're going to be doing that. They're going to be, well, at least they're going to try. This is the next attempt. It's going to be Tuesday to pull this out. I'm told the county is contracted with a company that's going to use a big heavy boom crane. They're going to go from the land. So what this means for you, this is big news that you need to know for your Tuesday commute. Lincoln Memorial Drive, Patty, if you can pan over to Lincoln Memorial there, past Alex, past the big rocks. Lincoln Memorial here on the lakefront, it's going to be shut down, both sides. That shows you how big of an operation this is going to be on Tuesday. They're actually shutting down both lanes of traffic on Tuesday morning. So they're hoping that they're going to have that heavy equipment to come in and pull this thing out of the water. When I talked with county leaders about fronting the bill, $50,000, one of the things they're talking about is they're worried that somebody could potentially come out here, slip on top of the boat, Maybe somebody that can't swim is going to get involved, get trapped and not be able to be rescued. They're also worried about these big rocks I showed you. You saw the people eating lunch out here on the rocks, Donovan. And so the county leaders are worried that people, who knows, there could be a slick rock. These rocks, some of them can shift in places. So there's a big worry from county leaders that somebody's going to get injured coming out to look at this site that you can see on Google Maps.
Jason, I want to ask you.
Like our gentleman, our friend said. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I know there's a bit of a delay. Listen,
a little delay.
We know the mayor last week, Mayor Cavalier Johnson, announced there was an anonymous donor to help crews remove this boat from the sand here. Where did that money go? Where is it?
Yeah, that's a big question. So there was money. We don't know how much money this anonymous donor donated to help remove this boat. We're still trying to get answers. So we talked with the county leaders. They're like, well, we don't know how much money it was. We don't know what happened to that money. My understanding from the mayor's office was that money, again, don't know how much, went to the private salvage company that was originally tasked with trying to pull this thing out of the water back in the fall. People have been asking me, well, what about the Coast Guard? Why can't the Coast Guard get involved? So I've been tracking down answers all day about that, Donovan. And what the Coast Guard tells me is they actually were part of the initial recovery. So the people that were on board, the 2 people that were on board Deep Thoughts, they actually ran out of fuel and they were able to get safely to the marina when they ran out of fuel. But then this thing drifted and drifted and drifted and drifted away from the marina. Now it's landed here where you can see it pretty much on shore here. So the big question now is, it's been here since October, who's going to help pay the county $50,000 because they're fronting the bill. They're hoping that they're going to get some reimbursement here. I know they're going to try to potentially go after previous owners, not the current owners. The current owners of this boat, from all accounts, don't have the money to really do any recovery of this boat. That's at least what we're hearing from the county and from nonprofit groups that have been helping. So we do know that the Daniel Hone Foundation has donated an additional amount of money.
That is our Jason Calvi. They are talking.
A Milwaukee County judge.
Her behavior was unconscionable.
Hauled away in handcuffs.
A public spectacle designed to humiliate a sitting judge.
This week on Open Record.
Shame on her.
A showdown over immigration enforcement.
What she did was right.
In the halls of the Milwaukee County Courthouse.